everybody, this is Aaron from ASMR Destiny, and welcome to this ASMR video. This is going to be more of a impromptu kind of video, where I'm going to be talking to you more, so I hope you like it. I'm actually going to be talking about some of my favorite movies that I have on Blu-ray. So I got a stack of movies here off camera, and I'm going to be talking to you about them. And yeah, I would love to hear some of your favorite like must-buy films. That would be really cool for you to actually let me know that. So the first film, I'm gonna also kind of explain some technical things about these kind of films too, since I have a extensive background in video production, as you may know. A lot of the films I like because of their technical aspects, maybe more so than, say, the story or the actors. So, first movie I'm going to talk about is Gravity, and this film came out in 2013. Wow, that long ago. And stars Sandra Bullock. And if you have not seen Gravity, you need to go watch Gravity. If not for any reason but that this kind of film is basically one of like a milestone in visual effects. Like, a movie like this could not have been done until 2013, which I still don't believe it was that long ago, but yeah, like, it's one of those milestone films. It's so realistic, like you will believe like the actors actually went into space and filmed it. Like, it's that crazy. So if you've not seen Gravity, rent it tonight, stream it, do whatever you can, just go watch it. It's a crazy film, and one of those landmark films that could not have been done the way that they did it until 2013. So yeah, crazy film. The next one I'm going to talk about is Mad Max Fury Road, and this one, it won some Academy Awards. I don't remember which ones did, but this was kind of like one of the films that was like unexpected. This came out in Can I find the... I cannot find the release date. They don't have it on the back of here anymore. I really want to tell you what the date was on this. 2 years ago? No, yeah, 2016. This movie was like an unexpected, like, surprise in 2016. Yes, it had a great cast. Charlize Theron is in it, and Tom Hardy. George Miller came back, which was the director of the original Mad Max. But yeah, I think this like surprised everybody, and I had a really great time watching this in the theater. Like it was so badass watching this in the theater. If you've not seen Mad Max, you don't really need to watch the originals. Just go. Just go and watch this. It's one of those films that it's so different and like surprising, and like just watch it. I mean, it's insane. The part I remember watching in the theater that I literally like audibly like gave out like a wow or like a laugh because it was so over the top, which was awesome. I mean, even everything about the film was over the top, but I remember when they showed the guy, there was one vehicle where they had an actual guitarist like strapped into these bungee cords, and he was playing a guitar as like their like battle theme music as flames was coming out of the guitar, and he's like strapped in front of the vehicle. Like it's that crazy. I think Conan O'Brien did like a parody of that. Next is Tron Legacy. Tron Legacy was from 2000, and man, I can never find the dates on these. 2000 something. I also remember watching this in the theater, and I have to open up this. I can't find the date on this, but so I hope you guys have watched these films. So Tron Legacy is a sequel to the original Tron, which came out in the, I don't know either. Came out a long time ago. And like I was super excited for this, and I loved the film. Tron Legacy is one of my all-time favorite films. It's really too bad they don't have a 4K version, which totally sucks, because the film was mastered in 2K in digital. So if they do a 4K version, it's going to be an upscaled version because they don't have a 4K master, which sucks. But yeah, I was like super excited for this. I love the film. The music was by, man, I wish I could remember that. The music was by who was it by? Daft Punk, right. Daft Punk did the music. That alone should like convince you to watch this film if you have not seen it. But yeah, Daft Punk did the soundtrack, which is awesome. You can find it on any kind of streaming service. But yeah, just the visuals are amazing. I always go to the light cycle race on here when I'm showing off my home theater and sound system. Like, it sounds amazing. Now, if you've seen the film, you know that so Jeff Bridges is the main guy, and he was in the original film, but of course in this one he's old because of course he aged. But they have a digital version of him in the film too. So this was also kind of like another milestone in visual effects work, to have a digital actor in the film. People thought like Star Wars, like the recent Star Wars, like that happened this last few years, where they had like the general or something on the day of Death Star, like be a digital human. Like that was like the first time. I would really consider this really being the first time. And what people don't realize is they look at him and they say, oh, he looks fake, right? Because he is. I mean, it's a young version, and it's all like, it's an all CG head, and they're like, oh, it looks fake. And I believe what the filmmakers intended was that they intended it to look slightly fake, like digitally created, because the digital version of him only exists on the grid, like inside of the digital world, and so it wasn't supposed to be like totally photorealistic version of him. So I think in the reviews and stuff, people kind of got that mixed up. So, but it's not really their fault. So this is one of my more recent favorite films, and it is Blade Runner 2049. Now, Blade Runner 2049 came out, was it a year ago? Almost a year ago. I don't know why I'm so bad at my dates. 2 years ago. 2017. And this is the kind of film that it's like, it's not, I always tell everyone, it's not the destination but the journey. It's a long film, 164 minutes, but yeah, there's so much nuance in the performances of all of the characters. There's not many characters, but each one has like deep, like layered nuances to them that, like, even on like the 6th or 7th time that I watched the film, I picked up on something new. I've probably seen this film at least 8 times, probably. And like I have analyzed like almost every scene in the movie. And each time I do, like, I picked out new things that I didn't discover before. Very, very nuanced and deep, because a lot of things you have to kind of like think for yourself. It doesn't spoon feed you the information, and you have to kind of like interpret what they're feeling or how the characters got to certain decisions. And so yeah, totally love this film. Visual effects, of course, are also amazing, and I really hope they make another one. It didn't do as good in the box office that the studio hoped, so they didn't. I'm pretty sure it made back its money, but it wasn't quite box office enough to warrant greenlighting another one right away. But I really, really hope that they do. because I love that world, the Blade Runner world. Obviously, if you've seen some of my previous ASMR videos. Mission Impossible Fallout. There's like way too much to talk about this film, about Mission Impossible, like what the series has become over the years. And but it's become basically like almost like one of those event breakthrough films, like series now, that thanks to Tom Cruise, like his just totally insane real stunt work that he does. I remember watching this in the theater, and there's a scene where this is also in the trailer, where he's climbing up a rope suspended off of a real helicopter, and at the end of the rope is like this like cargo of rock or something. And at a certain point he's climbing up, and then he falls like straight down onto like the cargo, and like you could hear the entire theater like gasp. First off, it was shot in IMAX, so like most of his action scenes are shot in with IMAX cameras, so the aspect ratio gets a little bit taller during those scenes, and the image just gets like twice as sharp, twice as bright. Like everything about the image just becomes way better, and so that helps. But they like, you know, purposely put the camera in shows Tom Cruise's face the entire time, right? Yes, they can do face replacement, but in this film they didn't. Like Tom Cruise did like all of his own stunts and everything, and he's known for doing that now, right? So I think he like broke his ankle too, when he jumped off the roof in one scene. The behind the scenes featurettes on this are just really interesting, because they tell you all about the making of the film and what things they had to change, and how like Tom Cruise, how he had to like do things, and like, yeah. Cannot wait for the next Mission Impossibles, for sure, just to see how he's gonna top this last one, right? So I know like Top Gun 2 or Top Gun Maverick is what they call it, they're coming out, so I'm sure he did his own stunts for that. I'm not going to talk too much about Star Trek, because there's way too much to talk about on Star Trek. I love Star Trek series. I love all kinds of Star Trek. I'm a Star Trek fan more than a Star Wars fan. But yeah, like Star Trek The Next Generation is my one of my top favorite series of all time. And I love the reboots because, you know, hate me or love me, but I love the reboots because they've gotten like the money and the creative vision and the directorial power behind them, like J.J. Abrams, like having that kind of like director to make this kind of films has always been my hope for the series, to really like make a really awesome like big budget Star Trek. And the same goes for like Star Trek Discovery. Like I love the fact that CBS made Star Trek Discovery, because of the fact that it looks like a feature film in every episode. Every episode looks like a feature film. Like that's amazing. That's awesome. Like Star Trek has always been like on a tight budget, you know, like they were limited in what they could do, but like on Discovery, like they're doing anything they want, right? CBS gave them tens of millions of dollars per episode to do it. And it shows, totally shows in every single episode. Every single frame of Star Trek Discovery is like oozing with production quality, which I totally love. And Star Trek Picard is going to be coming out. Like, it's just, it's like the Star Trek that I've always wanted to have, like really given the money that they needed to tell these stories. So, yeah, anyways, I could talk about Star Trek a lot. Interstellar. Please tell me you've seen Interstellar. I mean, these are like all must-see sci-fi films, okay, people? So I hope you you have seen these. But yes, Interstellar is... I loved Interstellar. I mean, Christopher Nolan films. I love all the Christopher Nolan's films, first off. And Interstellar is no different. It deals with, you know, traveling across the galaxy. It deals with, like, the human condition. It deals with time travel in a way, right? Like the, you know, like love, like it's just all of these elements. And I just love space stuff, like, you know, stuff like 2001, 2010, Space Odysseys. Like, this reminded me a lot about that film. The awesome thing about this film is that I'm pretty sure like all of the ships and stuff are real models. Like, they shot with real models and not CG. So that's what made him actually look real. So that is really awesome. And let's see, I'll probably talk about one more movie. I got like a bunch left, but let's see. Okay, last one. Ready Player One. This was actually a book, a very popular book, which I listened to the audiobook of and turned into a movie directed by Steven Spielberg. And Ready Player One is basically like what I have experienced personally, being in VR and experiencing VR and stuff, and like having a life in VR. And this is basically like the next level. Like a VR, if everybody had VR and everybody escaped into VR or did everything in VR, like go to school, right, shop and everything like in VR, like this would be like the world that we would live in. So yeah, I really liked how they brought it to the screen compared with the book. And yeah, totally recommend it if you're at all interested in VR. So okay, I'm about out of time, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed just a quick look at my movie library. I have a lot of physical disc movies, so maybe next time I will well, not next time, but I will do another one where I go through the rest of them, because there's so many movies that I've collected over the years and that I love, and I love to tell you guys about them. But I want to hear from you. What are your like favorite, like top 5 films that you love, and why do you love them? Like, the reason for that is really important. So I hope that you enjoyed this ASMR video, and I wish you a good night, sleep well, and sweet dreams.